One of the things I have been able to understand through the years of my journey, and even up to now, is that you can't give what you don't have. And the kind of energy you're projecting into the universe is the energy that will definitely come back to you. And within yourself, if you don't have this settled notion, you don't have this settled mind of your own, there is no way you are going to be achieving things that will even keep you more settled than you have. Just like I shared in my previous video, how I got my life on track. I'm going to be linking the video down below. I was able to figure that there are some crucial steps that needs to be taken. And when I started embarking on that journey, my life was not just on track, but it was aligned, and I was actually flowing with that state. And at the same time, I realized that there are still some obstacles, some hindrances that still keep people off, or let me use myself, that still keep me off most times, that I try to find my way around. And I figured that happiness comes from within, and you can't give what you don't have. And the sum total of all these things is having a peaceful life, not just to the outside world, but from your innermost self. And most times, what we carry in our innermost self is what we project into our outside world. And that was how I was able to come about this video. How I was able to tackle that part of myself, and how I was able to get into the track of getting a peaceful life. And Alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alameen, through this past times I have spent pursuing my goals and living for the purpose I am actually driven for, I figured that peaceful life is one of the important things everybody should invest in. And there is no way around having a peaceful life other than you starting the work from your inner self. And when you do the work from your inner self, that is what we eventually project into the outside world. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you how I'm able, or how you can have a peaceful life. Instead of you listening to the chaos outside there, looking at people what they have done, how much some people have done, what they're achieving that you are not, or some of your classmates are already making things happen. You're traveling outside when you're still there battling with your life. Just like I told myself that I have some of my classmates that have actually international, they are global. And myself, I'm still struggling with my life. I'm still trying to make ends meet. I'm still trying to search for my kids. And even some of them are getting married recently, while me, I got out of a relationship over 7 years with my kids that I don't even want to start talking about to people because I don't even want any negative vibes to even come around me. So sometimes we have a lot going on around us that is actually controlling the way we see our life, that is actually controlling the way we think and the way we see our future. Instead of you letting these things control the way you see yourself, the way you respond to the universe, and the way the universe is actually responding to you, I feel that you should try to learn the important things that needs to be put in place to have a peaceful life. Now, one of the things I have actually learned over during my journey is that the first thing that should come is that you should mute the crowd. I can't say this enough. When I say mute the crowd, I mean whatever anybody has to say to do like this. That's it. Whatever the society, the crowd, the chaos out there has over you, this is it. Muting the crowd will allow you to be able to listen to yourself. Haven't you noticed that if you spend like 2 3 days in the house without leaving your house, just try it as an example, just try it. You are in the house day one, day two, day three for like a week, or let's just say you're spending a whole day in the house. Probably you don't have your phone and you don't have anything that will actually connect you to the outside world. You're just there. After some time, you sitting with yourself, some thoughts will start coming to you. Either the negative thoughts or the positive thoughts. Either the thoughts that will help you grow or the ones that will keep you wherever you are. That is what happens. Now, whenever you move the crowd, whatever anybody has to say, whatever noise is coming from outside, you're this, you're that, you can't do this. See your life, you're looking at what people are doing, achieving success, moving on from one goal to another. They are smashing it big time. They are into this and they are blowing up massively. You zero it, then you begin to listen to yourself. Then you'll be able to understand yourself better. If you are the type of person that is actually helping yourself to grow, or you are also depriving yourself to grow. Let me explain. When you mute the crowd, you are listening to yourself. Some of us have these inner talks within us. In fact, it's everybody. We have the inner talks, and this inner talks is going in two ways. Either it is going positively or negatively. For some of us, people like me, at first when I started the journey, I'm always having the negative talks that Now look at what you have caused. You could have been in a better place, but this is where you are. Now you don't have anything to do about it. Imagine what you are doing presently. Others are doing better than you. Now your ex-husband has left the house to go and work while you are here crying, wailing, looking at yourself out of pity. You understand that point? And after a while, it started shifting into look at yourself, you're such a mess. Yes, I understand I am such a mess. But at this point, I am willing to bring myself out of the mess. Those are two different things, right? That is what muting the crowd will do for you. You will not be listening to what people are saying, but you are now focusing on yourself. That is just it. You are muting the crowd. You are not listening. Some people will come with different opinions, especially when you take up decisions. Like when I was about to leave my ex-married then, I was trying to get the information and idea from people out there. Not that everything they actually said was useless, but I figured that most of the things that were said to me were useless and only few of it were useful. So I picked on those that are useful, then I bring it down to myself again. What am I going to do about this? And I figured that when they keep telling me not to leave, they keep giving me a lot of words that you should stay, this is what will happen, you're going to grow hungry, you're going to do. That was actually affecting the way I'm thinking. But the moment I stopped listening to that, I picked from what they actually said. Then I bring all the talk down into my own mind. Then I started saying things for what they really have. Then I started understanding myself better. Is this the kind of life I want? Now, for how long do I want this inner critic to keep talking to me? For how long do I want other people to keep affecting my life? Now, when they have influence over me, it's just that they're going to have influence on my future. And for how long am I going to entertain that? I don't want to condone that type of thing in my life. Muting the crowd will enable you to listen to yourself and for you to be able to focus more on yourself so you can understand yourself better. Most times when there is too much noise, just take for example when you're trying to read or study and you're in an environment whereby the noise is just affecting you, obviously you won't be able to put your attention in that book you're reading. Yes, that's what will happen. But when you are in a place where it is more settled, there is no noise, there is no banging, there is no knocking, there is no distraction. What do you think will happen? Your focus can even be extended into hours that will be fruitful at the end of the day. You're even going to achieve far better more than whatever it is you might have you wanted to achieve when there was noise. That's what will happen. To have a peaceful life, just mute the crowd. Whatever anybody has to say, see it as a perspective, not an option. It is a perspective. That is where they are saying things. That is what they are looking at. That is the way things are happening for them. That's just it. So mute the crowd. That was the first thing I did that actually helped me to have a peaceful life. And the next thing I did, which was the second on the list that I don't actually take for granted that I've been working with over in my life that has been working for me is accepting myself and believing in me. I shared this in one of my last videos that you don't need permission. You don't need permission to take your decision. So it shows that if you are waiting for people's permission and validation, you won't be doing anything at all. So I started accepting myself for who I am and believing myself. And I'm not just accepting myself for settling, I am accepting myself as work in progress. There are two different things. Some of us will say, if you don't accept me for who I am, then I can't be better to you. But that does not mean they should just accept you like that. They should be accepting you based on the notion that you are trying to work towards some things that are faulty, some things that are not good enough about yourself. We accept you as work in progress, not that we are accepting you as you putting that mind that that is where you belong. So that notion gave me a kind of understanding and belief in myself that I can actually move mountains. I can do things. Okay, these are the things I have problems with. And I understand that, and I also believe that I can do better. To have a peaceful life, you need to believe in yourself. Just give yourself the accolades, even when nobody is watching, when nobody is looking at you. Understand that it is a journey, it is a pathway. You are work in progress. Where you are this year is not going to be the entire factor of where you will be next year. So why are you disturbing yourself? I don't have a career, I don't have an ambition. I'm supposed to be using iPhone XR by now. My friends are using digital cameras to record videos. One of my friends just unraveled his Benz, his Lamborghini that he bought last week. This one and that one. Some of the parents are even expecting him to bring this to the home. But this is who you are. Do you want to beat yourself up for that? I'm supposed to have some qualifications. I've not been opportunity to go to school. I'm supposed to go to fashion school to go and learn how to sew properly. My friends are doing better because they learned how to sew. Really? Do you know what they are doing in the background that has actually prompted that what you're saying? Do you know how many times they have actually given themselves reassurance that it can be better? You are only talking based on what you are seeing presently, not because of what is happening on the ground. Now, the way you are looking at this video, I'm only showing you the part I want you to see, not entirely what's going on. You wouldn't have known if there is somebody at the back of me, or there is something I am doing at the back that you're not seeing, or probably I have some things that I don't even want you to see about me. The backstage is meant for the back, not what we want you to see. But the front stage is what we are trying to make people draw attention to. Just like you go to a boutique or restaurant, they will show you the beautiful ones of the clothing they have on the store to draw your attention to them. That's what you should do for yourself. You pick yourself as an entity, as an image, as a product that needs to be improved on. And you keep looking at those good parts, the things you still have control of, those good aspects of yourself, and you use that as an opportunity to accept yourself, to fall in love with yourself totally, and believe in yourself. Do you know how much you can do when you believe in your abilities, when you believe in your potential? Do you know how far you will go when you understand fully well that you are trying to make things work? And if you don't put in the effort, it will not work. If you don't accept for yourself for who you are, you will not see yourself beyond where you are. Sometimes the grace you need is just need it to come from within you. You don't need it to come from the outside world. Sometimes the grace you need is accepting yourself internally and believing in yourself internally. And if you're able to do these things from internal, it will extend to the external world. And that is what the universe is waiting for. That is what some of the things that you need to attract is waiting for. You are not looking the part of what you want to become. You are not internalizing the things you want to see yourself as. You are not putting your mind to the things you want to do. You are only responding to the irregularities around you or the irregularities you embody. You are not focusing on the good part of yourself. You are not accepting yourself enough for who you are. And because you're not accepting yourself, you are not believing in yourself. Believe you can do it. And not because you are saying it, but because you are actually doing it. It is not showing results yet, but it will show results when the time is right. And the third thing I have actually done that has helped me give me a peaceful life is creating a goal. I mean, really, a goal. And I've mentioned this a lot of time in most of my videos. A goal, no, that will give you a purpose. And I talked about it in my last video, how I was able to get my life on track. I've been letting the video down below. Having a goal will give you a sense of purpose, a sense of belonging, the reason why you sleep and wake up on a daily basis. But for some of us that don't even have a purpose driven at all, we just wake up every morning and live our daily life as normal human beings. We just live like an average human being will have no career, no ambition, no focus. Focus. The last year has passed and this new year is also going. Where do you see yourself in the nearest future? In year one, by the time this year runs out, what do you think you would have achieved? What do you want to do? How many things do you think you would have done? What are those parts of your life you feel would have adjusted, you would have worked on? For this year, my major goal is to be consistent and build a foundation of the woman coach I'm about to become. That is the goal for this year. I'm laying the foundation by starting up a YouTube channel, by writing, by building up a Telegram channel, and be consistent with whatever it is that will keep these three things growing. And also, financially, the work has to come in place, and I make some monthly dues on a monthly basis. It's very simple. At least, and I know that the life I am living now is centered around these four things. What have you created for yourself? I also understand that at the same time, when I'm trying to build this goal, everything is not going to happen at the same time, and it's not going to happen when I am trying to make it happen. And I've also used that as my um, affirmation, a kind of settled affirmation or a kind of settled understanding and conviction that Though everything might not actually fall in place when I plan them to be, but I am going to make it work in progress and be consistent regardless. That is a goal. Then when I sleep and wake up, most times when I sleep and wake up, I just come up with different ideas or videos I have to put in place. I come up with some topics I want to put in my book. I came up with building a Telegram channel. I started searching on YouTube how I can build a channel, how I can grow on YouTube, how long it will take me to get monetized. That is not even part of my goal this year. All I want is that I want to be consistent and put myself out there to lay the foundation of becoming a woman life coach. I also understand that I'm going to be learning how to film video, how to edit, how to generate ideas, how to come up with the base, how to even rest. My workplace, how do I want to balance it? That is goal. What have you planned for yourself? What is that thing you're going to be working on that will keep you on track? That's how you can have a peaceful life. If you don't have a goal, you are very, very far away from achieving anything at all. So really, please, be mean and you need to create a goal for yourself. And one of the things that I've actually done to give myself a peaceful life is no competition. Oh my God, I can't stress this enough. No competition. I am not in competition with anybody. The only competition I have is my yesterday self. And the moment I realized that I don't want to keep being in that cycle of being in my yesterday self, I realized that I have to improve better today. You are not competing. Let them go. I watched some videos on Facebook and TikTok really about my friends. Some of my friends that we got married at the same time and they are still thriving in their marriage. And there's even another one that I realized that has gotten out of the relationship, but I think they came back again out of understanding. I am not in my marriage. I'm not thriving in it. And also, I have been separated. I am not even willing to come back into it. Am I supposed to make a fuss out of it? That is their life. That is how they've seen it to be. That does not mean when they chat me up or message me, I stumble them on the road, I'm going to ignore them and keep bossing and buffing off around the situation. No. If I do that, it shows I'm competing with them. I'm trying to compare myself. Competition is just like comparison. And that is one thing I don't like. I don't like competing. When I realize that an atmosphere is not encouraging me or is not adding up to my value, I just leave. When I realize that there is a relationship that a guy is trying to build between us and is also having somebody else, the moment I see that a guy is dominating, I don't talk. I let it go. Because I hate competition. Because when you're competing, you'll be seeing somebody doing something better than me. And because of that, are you appreciating me or you're depreciating me? In fact, I can't stand in being a second or third wife because I don't like it. I don't like competing. I don't want anything that will have to start giving me baggages, that will have to start thinking about myself and the second person. I don't compete. More reason why I don't even compare my kids. One of them is a boy and the other one is a girl. When I'm trying to scold the girl, I don't use the notions of the boy. When I try to scold the boy, I don't use the notions of the girl. I do it individual because I don't want any of them to grow with the idea of having that competition mindset that your sister is better than you should be since and you are this. No, you are trying to kill your emotion. You're not giving yourself room to be who you are. You are only measuring yourself based on the observations you have seen about other person. You don't have to compete yourself with anybody. You don't need it. You are in competition with yourself. And whatever it is you're doing, comment on yourself. When you go on social media and the likes of them, you see people performing better. What do you rather do, which I do, is that you can either draw inspiration from them. Like the lady has said that they are still thriving. I believe there are some notions they are actually using because I realize that they go for marriage counseling and therapy more often, which I made a suggestion when I was with my ex-husband was not actually accepting of it. So I was able to learn that if you want your union to thrive, you can always need a third party when both of you are trying to make things work and it is not working. So having a third party does not mean you are disclosing your affairs to the public. I learned that from her. Not because I'm competing, but I got that as a message from her. The other one that got separated and came back, I figured that after the separation, the guy understood his own part, and the lady also understood her own part. So they were willing to put in the work, which they did. They put in the work and they were able to come back, which my ex-husband did not also do. I tried to make a lot of things work and it did not happen. So I figured that to make relationship work, I even understood that when there is separation, you guys can still come together based on the two notions, the two parties. So I was able to pick that idea from her, not from the aspect of competing. You don't have to compete with anybody. You don't. So no competition. You are living your life. And the more you compete, the more you're going to put yourself down. So that is the fourth thing. And the fifth thing I understood through the journey to have a peaceful life is that you should expect obstacles to grow. Yes. You understand that you are free. So whenever you are pursuing a dream or a goal and something happens that is out of your plan, you should know that it is part of the journey. If that obstacle does not happen, maybe you're going to be delayed, or maybe the obstacle is going to make you a step or multiple steps ahead. Obstacles is part of the journey. I've understood that. When I was trying to get accommodation, in fact, when I was trying to get a job that I'm working in presently, it was a lot. But the moment I understood that there are going to be obstacles, okay, you can't say you are moving from A to B and you expect that from A it's going to be a straight line. No, you can move from A. And in fact, in fact, you can even be discouraged because what you think will take you just 4 days, you might eventually spend a whole month on it. Now, I decided that I'm going to be making videos at the beginning of the year. That is starting from December. I was not able to make any video as of December. In fact, when January started in week one, no, there was no single video. I started making video in week 3 of January. Imagine. So that is just it. Obstacles. And what are the things that happen? My house I thought I was going to be using, I don't have a good settings for the background and the likes of them. My lighting, there was no electricity. Most of the time, my phone is always up, down whenever I'm home. And also, the time I thought I would be using on Sundays, I realized that most times I just want to rest. I prefer to write on Sundays than shoot video. And most time my kids will be home. So I'll always be having one noise or the other. And sometimes I want to tend to them, talk to them, and do the activities for their school so we can prepare for Monday. Most times on Sunday, I realize that I spend most of the time trying to make soups and stews and the likes of them for the week. And mentally, physically, emotionally, I was really down because I have not actually gotten a job and I was really concerned that I want something to be doing before the end of this month so I can start matching up to my financial budget. My kids' school fees are there, the rent fee is there, the electricity is there, upkeep is there, and the rest of them. So that is it. And at that point, I was like, I also have these things I've mapped out for the month. What do I need to do? At the point, I just feel like, well, maybe it is not just the time. Not because I feel lazy about it, but at the same time, I feel that if I try to stretch myself excessively, the result is going to be pouring down on me. So there is no point. And do you know what happened? The week I got started into this school, started working here, the zeal came from nowhere. Now I have over 6 videos in 1 week than I have in 2 weeks. That is what happened. Now you said that the obstacle denied me for the 2 weeks. But do you know what the obstacle actually created? It gave me a faster pace. What I thought I would be doing for a month now, I've achieved it in a week. Sometimes that's how things work. Obstacles happen. You might be delayed, you don't have the job, you don't have the money, this is not happening. But at the same time, that obstacle is trying to pass a message across to you. During that time, you're trying to walk past something that would be beneficial to where you are going. In fact, part of the videos I'm making now were the ideas that is coming to me when I started working. In fact, part of the things that I'm writing on my Telegram channel recently is part of the things I have learned over the few days I started going and coming. Sometimes obstacles are meant to be there to help you shaping that goal you are working towards. It does not have to be a barrier. So expect obstacles to grow. Whenever you are looking for growth, obstacles will definitely happen. And at the same time, the fifth thing I would advise anybody, or the sixth thing rather I would advise anybody is that to have a peaceful life is that there is time for everything. No matter how you try, no matter that sweat you are looking for, no matter sleepless nights you have, If you won't be having that breakthrough in January, it will never happen in January. You will only be seeing flashes of it. You will only be seeing that you're about to do this, this is about to happen, but it won't happen. There is time. I figured that whenever you are going through any hardship, it will leave when it's time. Indeed, with hardship comes heat. And some of us will say, indeed, after hardship, there is ease. That is the cycle of life. If you are going through pain today, know that tomorrow will be easier. If you don't have money today, know that tomorrow will be different. If you don't have friends today, know that next tomorrow. At a point in time, I deleted most of the contacts on my phone. Yes, because I don't want it. And most times I don't feel like it. Whenever you get my contact, I won't save it. Because I feel that I don't even want to. Like, I don't want to be present. I don't want to see anybody's status. But now, do you know how I feel? I feel like I think it's time for me to start gathering contact because I am about to become the woman I've always wanted to become. And that warrants me to be able to communicate and speak with people as much as I can. So why don't I just open that part of me and receive people? There is time. It is not working today, it can work tomorrow. And that is if you keep trying. But do you know what will happen when you stop trying? That is what will I eventually call failure. You see, obstacles, they are part of it. But at the same time, when these obstacles happen, there is going to be a time for you to be at a better place. When I was in my ex marriage, it felt like forever. Like there are some days that I will cry myself to sleep. I'll wake up and cry. I have a lot of things, my body, everything is just against me. Now look at me. I am in a different place where I can confidently say I am happy. When I got out, I don't have a house. I went to my sister's place, and during that time, I worked my ass off from 7 to 7 every single day for a whole year. And the remaining months, oh my God, was filled with hunger, pain, emotion, damage, and the likes of them. But when I look back at that, I figure that I am actually a step forward. That time has passed. This is another time. It will go. It will leave. It is pain, it is obstacles, it is challenges, it will leave. And when the time leaves, that new time that is coming, how do you want that time to meet you? Do you want that time to meet you broken, shattered, dismantled, unrecognizable that the time can even pass you, not knowing that you are the one, but your appearance is actually denying that side for you to recognize you. The time will pass. These two will pass, and another time will come. But if you don't hold on to that, you'll be filled with a lot of worries and troubles. You'll be disturbed. It will be as if the life on its own is turning the entire path towards you. And the seventh thing I have learned to have a peaceful life is you are work in progress. Just like I mentioned in point number two, accepting yourself for who you are. Your work in progress means you are just moving. Like I said, you can't be perfect. And as you continue to journey, you continue to get better. You're not perfect. You have made, like I do tell myself before that, why did I take this decision? Why should I get married at this certain age? How could I have been so stupid to listen? How could I have been this awful to myself? A lot of things. But I figured that that was me before. And because I have learned that I don't want to be in that position again, I am in a new position. It shows I am improving. I am unlearning to learn new things. And education has to do with you learning, unlearning, learning, and unlearning. And the journey is like that. You are work in progress and don't ever, ever see yourself as being static. Consistency is the key. Whatever you're working towards, whatever life you're looking for, whatever ambition, whatever thoughts you have given yourself to understand that life is only full of chaos when you want it to be, is because you're not consistent. You're not consistent in reminding yourself that happiness comes from within and you can't give what you don't have. If you're not happy, there is no way your life will be happy. If you're not giving yourself the best of the treatment, there is no way life will treat you with the best. If you are not giving yourself that accolade, you're not accepting yourself, You are not consistent in accepting yourself. You're not consistent in understanding that there is no competition. You're not consistent in understanding that the crowd has to be muted. Then you won't have a peaceful life. Having a peaceful life is one of the things that I would invest in, and I am still investing in, and I will keep investing over and over again. If you enjoyed this video, kindly like, share, and subscribe. And on a weekly basis, I will be bringing content to your view that has to do with personal growth development and growing of different ages. Until I see you in my next one. Bye.